Hello mech fans and welcome to the Valhalla Club. Grab yourself a Timbeaky Dark, set up that paint booth, open that spreadsheet, and join us as we talk all things BattleTech.
Welcome back, everybody, for another episode of the Valhalla Club. I will be your bartender tonight, Zemer. Today, we have Matt, the Northman, Mike, the Viking, and Bourbon. We also have a special guest tonight, Metal Ed. How are you doing, gentlemen?
Good. Very good.
Not too bad.
Great. Thanks for having me on, guys.
Ed, long time no talk. I don't think we've talked since LVO 20, first one. Whatever that was.
I think that was the last LVO.
Yeah.
25, yeah.
24. I wasn't at 25. I didn't go nowhere in 25.
Yeah, good to see you guys again. Or talk to you.
Yeah, it's actually my first time getting to talk to you in person like this. It's great to have you here for the episode tonight.
Yeah, thanks for having me. Yeah, it turns out we live a couple hours apart, 6, 7. Oh my God, did I just do that?
Oh,
Dude. Did you
Yeah.
really?
Oh my God.
It's out of here.
You gotta play the,
Or
the
7
kids
hours.
these days.
That's not even a blooper. That's in the main cut, bro.
All right,
kidding.
scrap that. We're starting over, guys.
We're just gonna do this for the next 2 hours.
Yeah, exactly. Got to run with it now.
All right. Well, I think before we get into the main medal and what and everything else we have today, how about a return and report? Mike, what's been going on in your neck of the woods?
Guest intro? We don't have that in the thing. We normally do that before everything else.
Oh, sorry. Yes. The guest intro. Yes.
Yeah. Who is this guy?
Yeah.
Why is he here?
Ed, who are you? Why are you here?
Well, Ben told me to be here, but yeah, no. I'm Ed Stevens, also known as Metal Ed. You'll see me across the Discords. I have a lot of hats these days. I started with CDT, one of the Alpha Strike playtesters for NC Kestrel, so I kind of help with the rules development there. I've taught over 1,000 people how to play Alpha Strike, so that's a badge I kind of wear proudly.
That's a good one. That's a good one.
Yeah.
I was the assistant developer on Draconis Reach, which is coming out soon in the Mercenaries campaign system.
Yeah, we look forward to that. That's like in parallel with Hinterlands, right?
It is like,
Or I shouldn't say
it's
in
like
parallel, but it's like the same product line.
yeah, it's a
hotspots.
successor. So
Yeah.
if Hinterlands was like Tamar Rising
Mhm.
in the top left corner of the map, this is Draconis Reach is like with Empire Alone in the kind of center right of the map.
Gotcha.
Let's see. I'm also on the rules team, so I've been helping with the core book rules for next year. And let's see, I did some writing for Shrapnel, and I moderate the Discord on the CGL Discord. So
Busy
that's
guy.
kind of what I do. I do a few things.
Yeah, very busy. All right. Well, yeah, again, it's great to have you here. It's great to meet you.
What's your favorite mech?
Yeah, what's your favorite mech?
Favorite mech is the Brutus Assault Tank. So
That's
not what I asked, but okay.
But tell me more.
I answer that because I've been asked, time and again, Ed, what's your favorite mech? And I'm like, I don't know, man. I don't know. I like the Warhammer on the old box. That was my first mini. But I never have a good answer. And I just eventually gave up because I realized I'm a combined arms guy. I like I like tanks. So, yeah.
I'm a big VTOL fan.
Yeah.
So I get the combined arms because, love me some Balak Strike VTOLs.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I'll talk about that later with Aces because, yeah, Balak is
Heck yeah.
merciless. Yeah. But, actually, if you get yourself a copy of Force Manual Mercenaries coming up soon, you might see a certain Brutus Assault Tank driver in there that you've heard of before.
Oh man. All right. I'm actually looking up the art on this, and some of it's a bit older, but Chaos March has some art of it. TRO 3058, It's an interesting design. It's rounder than I expected from an assault tank.
No, what you need to be looking at is the Alpha Strike card, sir.
Oh, the Alpha Strike card.
Yeah.
Oh, where is that?
He says that's why I love it.
Oh, okay, the stats. All right, yeah, all right. What, like the prime variant here?
Yep.
You got 4.52, IF indirect fire, LRM, searchlight. All vehicles got that. Okay, you know what? I could get behind it. That looks like a pretty mean tank.
I think you might have the wrong one, because I think that's supposed to be 5 and 6 damage at medium. I can't load master unit list right now.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm
mine's
using
dragon too.
Oh, you know what?
All of us trying to do it at the same time.
I'm gonna go ahead and plug mechbay.com because they might have it, because they use a different database. Okay, yeah, that's working right now. Yeah, the Brutus assault tank.
Oh yeah, no, there we are. 452. That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah, 4.52.
32 PV. That's my ride.
You know what? Yeah, I could see the vision. That's nice and cheap. It's got a bit of a punch. That's nice.
Is this the same tank that was it the tank crew from Hour of the Wolf? Our beloved tank crew? What
It's
was
a
that
carnivore.
tank?
It
Carnivore.
was a carnivore.
Okay. Those guys were great.
All right. Well, thank you for the introduction. And thank you for introducing me to a new tank that I'm going to have to throw on the table at some point.
Opens up Ares games and minis.
Here's the thing. I'm going to proxy it with a Von Luckner. Let's not get ahead of ourselves. I already spend enough money on minis. But actually, speaking of playing games, like, what have you guys been up to? Mike, any games as of late?
See, I got, we're a month behind, because we always end up a month behind because of the holidays. In December, over like the Christmas break and whatnot, I got a game of Alpha Strike in with the kiddo. So that was the first
Nice.
tabletop game in over a year.
Off.
But
Moving
it was
does
good.
that to a dude.
Oh yeah, like all of my Kickstarter is I took inventory of it roughly a year
All
ago,
unpainted.
and I put it back in the box and it's back in the garage. Yeah, it's my tabletop life is kind of sad lately, but I've been doing so many other things. But I did get a game in with the kiddo, so that was good.
Nice.
And then even further back from that, again, because it's been a hot minute, we had the Extra Life game day back in November, which would have been right after we recorded the last episode, which is why it's been so long. We've had such a large break. But see, we played Helldivers 2 for 16 hours. We were hoping to fight some Hive Lords, but by the time game day came around, the Hive world was already completed. So we just went and played with the bots all day. But again, we played for 16-ish hours, and we raised a grand total of $1,500 on game day.
Woo!
And then a couple weeks later, I got a couple more hundred. So the 2025 Extra Life total ended at $1,700 for Alaska's only children's hospital. So that is awesome.
Incredible.
That's amazing.
And what the goal was so that's at Providence here in Anchorage, Providence Hospital. What they'll be putting that funds towards is expanding out the teen game room, because that's been a super big hit. Building new or establishing new mobile gaming carts, because the one and only one they have is busted. So they're going to get some new gaming carts so they can bring the games to the kiddos that cannot be transported to a game room, as well as get some more like board games and card games and whatnot. And so, yeah. And I'm still waiting to hear back from the coordinator, like the Extra Life coordinator person at the hospital here, to find out what our goal for 2026 is. So, on that note, speaking of 2026, so game day, or Extra Life rather, is not restricted to just game day, which is what we started on. Let's see, a couple years back, 3 years ago. And then, so that's the only time I'd ever done it. I would sign up for Extra Life a couple weeks out and then get everything set. And then we'd have game day, and that was that. This year, however, on January 1st, I went ahead and already created my Extra Life profile for 2026. Now, what that does mean is I'm not a part of Tommy's team because he did not create it yet. And I can't, because you have to re-register. You have to re-register every single year, and it rolls over on the calendar year. So,
oh no.
So with that, I started my own team. So, it's called the Shield Wall Initiative. I know I'm staying very on brand. So it's the Shield Wall Initiative, and I've got it essentially under like Shield Wall Gaming and whatnot. But Shield Wall Gaming, defending true warriors. We're on a mission to play games to help kids' health. Shield Wall Gaming I've got it. So I didn't go like podcast brand with it. I zoomed out a little bit. So I have it as the Shield Wall Gaming is a military, veteran, and gamer community standing together to support kids in need. Just like the Shield Wall, we believe strength comes from unity, protecting, encouraging, and lifting others up when they need it most. Through Extra Life, every dollar we raise goes directly to our local children's hospitals. So anybody else joins the team, this can decide which hospital they're raising their funds for. Helping provide comfort, play, and moments of joy for kids facing serious medical challenges. So, with all of that, sorry, Tommy. Nothing personal. I just beat you to the punch this year. But in addition to that, since I did start a team, if anybody else wants to join Extra Life and raise money for their local children's hospitals, when you sign up for Extra Life, you can search for a team, and it's just the Shield Wall Initiative. Yeah, and so I've got my goal this year. So we did 1,700 last year, and so my goal this year is 2,000. Trying to hit 2,000, and I set the team goal because I didn't know what else to do at 5,000. So that's assuming we get other people in.
All right, that's a big old goal, but
yeah. It doesn't have to be streaming. You don't have to stream. You can just hold local fundraisers. You can fundraise on Facebook. You can put flyers up in your coffee shop and your local game store. There's no requirement to stream whatsoever. Tommy does the silent auction. There's various things you can do to raise money. So again, there's no streaming requirement. Don't feel like if you thought that was a barrier to entry to participating, it's definitely not, and in any way, shape, or form. So feel free to join the team, join the Shield Wall, right, and raise money for your local children's hospital. And if you need help with any of all that, just hit me up on Discord, and I can happily walk you through all of it. And since we've got our friendly Canadian on the show, just to also make people aware, Extra Life does exist in Canada also through the exact same platform, but still to Children's Miracle Network hospitals in Canada. So US and Canada. It's for the kids.
Are there unfriendly Canadians? That one.
What's the line from Waterworld? Dry land is real. I've seen it.
So if you look back at historical events, Canadians have two modes: sorry and I'm going to make you sorry.
Yeah, that is true. Remember, all of our law of land warfare comes because of Canada. Canada created it, the war crime. Those individuals might have been considered not nice.
No, that's just all the 350 changes. That's all because of Ed.
Correct me if I'm wrong.
I would say some are. That's for sure.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but it also was the Canadians who burnt down our house. So,
yeah, that is technically true. No, like our local Veterans Legion is named after Harry Minor, I think his name was. He was like a soldier in World War One who just went on like a murder rampage. He was like bayoneted 6 times, and like he picked up a friggin' machine gun and killed 49 soldiers or some shit. And I'm like reading this history. I'm like, oh my god,
Spicy.
This is not how we act.
yeah. he
So
lived here? Oh,
bloodthirsty.
fuck. He's not alive still, is he? Jesus.
Sorry, that was really long, but I'm done now.
No, it's good information to get out there. Yeah, thank you for doing the charity stuff, and thank you for sharing what's been going on lately. So next, Matt, what have you been up to?
Yeah, I've been playing a little bit of stuff. I've definitely been playing an Aces campaign with my 2 boys, but we will talk about that later on in the show. I've also been doing an online Mega Mech kind of event thing with the MRC. The one this month is called War Without End. And so this is kind of like a 4 to 5 mission thing where we're set up on 2 different teams. And then you play 4 matches basically. And then whoever's the best from each team can play for the last match. But it's been really fun. I love the way that Mega Mech treats my dice because it hates me, but I think, I hear comments like that all the time, but mine, the last game, I 3 consecutive PSRs I rolled a 2 on, like in the same round, 1, 2, 3. That was fun. So all of them went to the ground at once. That was pretty funny.
Was it fun?
It was. It always, there's this interplay between what happens on the board and your opponent and your mood at the time. So at the moment I was okay with it, but the more, like, whenever I think about it now, I'm like, man, I don't even know like the astronomical probabilities of this, but it happened to me. So, but it's been really fun to jump on Mega Mech and play with people in the MRC. It's a great group to find online games. So if you're like frozen indoors, like I hear some people are, it's a good way to still play BattleTech. So I've had my 4 matches for this month, and I played, and a lot of these you may not know, but Ajunta and Negator, who's actually here from from Colorado Springs, and Spice, and then Jim M. And they were all, fun to play with, different play styles and everything. I think the last one that I just played was with this guy named Jim from Atlanta, and I basically had to preserve buildings, and all he had to do was destroy them. And I got to say that, I'm a fan of like diverse scenarios, but destruction of buildings in BattleTech is just so one-sided. It's so easy to destroy anything that's just sitting there and has an immobile thing. So that one, I was like shaking my fist at the screen a little bit, but but it's just been really fun to play those. And they usually have like monthly events and stuff like that. So really cool. I'll give a tiny shout out for the MRC and the things they're doing over there. So, but been really fun to do that. And then we'll talk more about Aces later.
Yeah, sounds great. All right, Ed, how about you?
Yeah, did I hear you're playing with Negator in there, Matt?
Yeah, he's probably one of the, kind of top tier over there at the MRC. He's here in the Springs, but he crushes me every time we play.
All right, good to hear. He's a Charlie Company boy like myself.
Okay, yeah. He's a good player.
Negator was the first person I ever played a tabletop match with.
Really?
Once I got into actual like tabletop BattleTech. He was the first one I ever met up with. It was, I don't even remember the name of the shop. It was a store on the south side close to Fort Carson.
Yeah.
But we met up down there, and we went through Alpha Strike. It was one or the other. Either way, he was my first opponent ever. And he was a great teacher and just a great guy.
Yeah, he was nice enough to at least moan with me at my dice rolls, right? Like, oh man, that sucks, because I have sometimes notoriously bad luck on the dice rolls. But yeah, he's a great player and everything. So
yeah, so I've been busy lately testing the missions packet. That is the public playtest packet for the new core book coming out. I think they're aiming for late 26, but doing a lot of testing for not just the missions themselves, but how they play together in the bigger ecosystem of the thing. So Having a lot of fun with that. I think I got 3 games in person in the store this month, and that's like crazy for a January. So happy about that.
Yeah, that sounds really good.
When you test out games, Ed, are you doing it with another another person, or are you doing this like at home with yourself, or how do you test them out?
Yeah, no, I've got a couple of playtesters at the store that have been working with me for a while that know their stuff.
Cool. And these are just the missions. They're not like the survivability packet and whatnot.
Oh no, we're testing the whole thing at the same time.
Oh, the whole thing. Okay.
Yeah, right.
I'm curious if you don't mind sharing, like, which of those packets do you think is like your favorite?
What's my favorite stuff coming? I mean, the survivability, like the ammo explosions thing, just it makes the game make a little bit more sense because, you know, the deadliest weapon on the field isn't my own bin of machine gun ammo. But I also love what they did with water because, that is, no longer the second deadliest thing on the field. So
nice.
As a man who routinely fails PSRs and either lands in water and drowns or lands on my Centurion's ammo bin and explodes, I fully appreciate those as well.
Yeah. We're here to talk about that. We're here to talk about aces, right?
No. We'll get there. Sometime.
We'll get there.
What's Brent's favorite thing to say? More on that later.
Oh, more on that later.
Yeah, that's the wrong podcast, though. All right, Ben. How about you? What's been going on? He died.
Well, you got your answer, I guess.
My bad. I was muted. I muted myself and then forgot. What have I been doing? Charles and I got together and we're testing out a classic tournament packet that we've been looking at. And Charles's probably first game of classic in a little bit. So it was a good time. Got some notes back over to the creator and see where we go from there. And then I just trying to work on some writing stuff that I gotta get done for the next book, the next thing. Always a next thing. So, and doing a little bit of sealing and base coding of mechs, trying to get ahead of the game for Gen Con. So that's where I'm at right now.
All right. So on to our arms dealer update. Over at Aries Games and Minis, we have some new products as well as restocks coming in. But for some of the new faces that they have over at the store there, we have Neo War mats. These are going to be a sandbox style with hexes. So sandbox style, to my knowledge, there's no buildings on there. It's just printed like grasslands, savanna, moon craters and whatnot. Pretty neat. If you're interested, give that a check out.
Those are ones that I really like because I like to print out my own terrain and then I can, my own hex terrain like Thunderhead stuff, and then I can put it on where I want instead of like overlapping it with some sort of building that's below it on the catalyst stuff. So I really appreciate having nothing underneath but having something to match the terrain to, like like the Savannah or whatnot. So I'm really excited about these, and they come in either 4x4s or 4x6s. So this is big time map for classic BattleTech.
Yeah,
I'm with you.
Those interested, I'm looking at it now though. I don't think a lot of people would use it, but these do not have, essentially they're not numbered hexes. There's no like grid numbers. So if that's a thing that you use for like pre-placed artillery or something,
or landmines if you're maybe playing the mercenaries BSPs.
But they look beautiful.
Mm-hmm. I'm just looking at the textures right now. They are really nice. And it's like, it's kind of generic in a way enough that like there's just a great variety of uses here. I'm always hesitant to like pick out a terrain map that's like a bright pink, but looking at these, it's like that Savannah map that is so versatile. You could use it for a desert or maybe even a beach if you wanted to throw some water in there, get some
you totally could. Yeah
So
yeah,
all right,
I will say they look they're slightly cheaper than the FLG mats.
Yep.
But FLG mats are not hexed at all. So, I mean, the great thing about those little hexes is you can use it for either Alpha Strike or, you can just ignore the hexes if you're doing Alpha Strike.
Yeah, you can ignore them for Alpha Strike, yeah.
Yeah. But
So,
slightly cheaper than FLG and hexed. That's
A
dope.
win. Yep.
But other cool looking stuff here. Thunderhead prints are available on the site. I think Ares recently partnered with like a third-party printer, right? So these are print on demand?
Yeah, I think it's called Tabletop Terrain, if I'm not mistaken. And I think they have a whole bunch of their sets, but I know they have the Scouring Sands sets there. Just kind of, I'm not sure if it's on demand or if they actually have a stock there and then they just ship them out and replace it. But it's cool to have those. Like, we're going to be talking about Aces, but to have the actual 3D terrain if you want to replace what you get in the Aces box with that. So.
Yeah, I'm looking at the note now. I just went into one of them. It says this item is produced and ships directly from Tabletop Terrain, which is the production company for Thunderhead Studios. Shipping rates may not reflect what we have here at Ares. So it's not Derek sending it out. You're placing the order through Derek, and it's getting passed on to Tabletop Terrain.
Nice.
But yeah, Thunderhead stuff's always great.
Yeah, the models he makes are incredible. I do think this is useful for somebody who either doesn't have the space or the patience to have a 3D printer of their own. I know I myself, I used to be an avid 3D printer, but because there's small children here now, resin's a big no-no. Can't have the kids getting a hold of the forbidden gray smoothie. So
yeah, that's gross.
That's the thing, is the kids will always go after the forbidden gray smoothie. So yes, getting it out of the house is good.
I will say though, normally with terrain, all of my terrain's printed as PLA. It's not resin.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is probably better, but like I myself am PLA. Granted, it was like an old Ender 3, so the thing was like a hobby in itself to keep running, but
I remember hearing like horror stories of just like maintenance on those things.
Oh man, it's not in the trash, but it's on the bench. It is in pieces because it was just a thing after thing was going on it. But anyway, we're not here. This isn't a 3D praying podcast.
Although another thing Ares has got that I don't know if we've ever mentioned before, he recently got battle foam. So I know he was like one of the only ones that had like the Feldherr cases. So one of my first ones was my first bag was a Pluck Foam battle foam bag, which is all right. I personally hate Pluck Foam. And I was always sad that there wasn't like pre-cut hex stuff, trays for me to get for my battle foam box. But apparently, I guess battle foam caught up with the times and they were like, oh shit, BattleTech's huge now. So they've got a whole slew of BattleTech specific trays for their bags. And so having a battle foam bag and a Feldherr bag, personally, I prefer battle foam. Feldherr is good and all, but I just the rigidity of the battle foam bag, I like it better. There's the storage pockets on mine are better. I think I got the spear bag. And then the thing that drives me nuts the most about my Feldherr bag is the stupid zipper. Does anybody else have that problem?
I hear the fury in your voice. I don't have the problem.
It doesn't. It doesn't come off. It just gets, because they made the whole, like the loop where it connects, like the little handle for the zipper, the little loop for that. They made it just slightly too big, too large, so it gets in a weird spot and it gets like half stuck there, and you've always got to like take it out, and it's just constantly, and it drives
mine just keeps coming off.
Oh yeah, and I've never had
that bugs me.
Yeah, so not a fan of Velter zippers. They drive me nuts. And apparently Ben's in the same boat.
Yeah.
Dang.
I've had to
But-
take a pair of pliers to mine and like push, like close the little gap because it keeps popping off all the time.
Yeah. So when I saw Ares got battle foam specific for BattleTech, dude, I was like rejoicing. But I don't need to buy any at the moment. I make no progress in any painting or anything.
Yeah. And I'm looking, even if you don't need a tray to stick in your bag, they have trays that fit inside the CGL boxes. So they have like pre-cut foam inserts for, I believe this is battle foam, is it not?
Yeah.
Oh no,
So-
Feldher? Feldher, is that different manufacturer?
Felder is strictly out of Germany. And so
Okay.
he recently got stock of Felder again. Once his supply ran out, he wasn't ordering anymore because it all comes from Germany. And then importing stuff got really expensive,
Gotcha.
as we all know. So he didn't have Felder for a while. He's got it back in stock now. But yeah, like I said, personally, I won't be buying, me personally, another Felder bag. I'm going to go get me BattleTech foam inserts that will fit inside my already pre-existing battle foam bag.
Nice. Yeah, I'm just saying, like, he's got foam inserts for even the box sets. So if you just have an Aces box or Clan Mercenaries box, like if you just want to keep the minis, and not just the minis, but all the contents, the cards, the tokens, you could just get one of these foam inserts. It slots right into the box you already have, and you're good to go and transport. Everything's going to stay nice and safe.
Yeah. Let's see. Trays aren't too expensive.
No, like, yeah.
Anywhere between 15 and $20.
All right, then. So before we get into the main medal today, we have a correction on a previous episode to throw out there. So
We need some sort of like banging head on wall or something sound here. It's like, oh no, no,
wrong.
something like that.
Us never.
We've
I'm gonna
bungled.
say we're wrong.
This isn't Bungle Tech. So the correction is previously when we were talking about Hotspots Hinterlands, we made reference to the pirates riding cows art, and the art was by Tanhu Sim, and it was not requested by I think we said it was you, Metal Ed, who requested it, correct?
That's right. I want to get this in here. I want credit where credit is due. It was indeed NC Kestrel who made the art request for this amazing piece of pirates riding cows. I love it. But yeah, no, it was totally Joshua who requested that piece of art. Now, however, I will take credit for badgering him for years and years and years for infantry. Beast-mounted infantry, monocycle infantry. Yep.
Cow-mounted infantry? Is that where we're headed next?
That has been on the list for a while, but so I think maybe I did get into his head a little bit, but no, the art was by Ten Hosim, and it was NC Kestrel who asked for it, and it is beautiful.
Yeah, it's incredible art.
I feel like I had a conversation at LVO, Ed, and we were talking about that way before Tamar Rising or Hinterlands came out.
We sure did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's probably where it came from.
Yeah. Well, I think we were talking about the Branth aerial beast infantry.
Yes. Yeah.
Yes, because it is infantry, so it doesn't pay extra movement to go through buildings, but it's also VTOL movement. So technically, I can fly my dragon through the building.
Yes.
Incredible.
You hear it here, folks.
Remember to close your windows, folks.
Yeah. I think I might have said that out loud once, and he might have eroded it, but here we are.
Here we go, folks. It's time for the main medal. Today, we are talking about BattleTech Aces Scouring Sands. What is Aces? We've been talking about this for a while on the podcast, in anticipation for this product coming out. Some of us, like Bourbon here and Metal Ed, have been playtesting this and working behind the scenes to make for us to get the final product that we have in our hands today. But what is it? It's a co-op or solo narrative campaign. So you hop in here, you crack open the box. It is a story you get to play either by yourself or with your friends. And the way it's able to do this, and this is what's so fascinating about this product, from the minds of Josh himself, there is a deck of cards that controls the Op 4 for the mission. Inside the box, you have tokens and miniatures for controlling this Op 4. It is a campaign in the box. The only other thing you might want to get into this product is going to be either the free Kickstart rules that you can find online, or going out and buying yourself the Aces box set.
I'm going to hold you right there, Zemer. Zemer, you need the Alpha Strike box set for it, because you need to build.
That's what I'm trying to say is the Alpha Strike box.
Yep.
Sorry, for whatever reason, my brain is like just skipping beats right now.
My brain ran out my left eye socket a few minutes ago, so it's okay.
Yeah, so only thing you need to play this campaign is going to be the Quick Start rules, the Aces box, the Alpha Strike box, and if you want an expansion on the Alpha Strike rule set, Alpha Strike Commanders Edition.
Highly recommend it if you want to bring extra units.
Yeah, the Alpha Strike box set honestly comes with a great spread of miniatures. Just with the units that you have in that box, you can start with a fairly formidable mercenary company to take on these Jade Falcons that are in Scouring Sands.
Eradicate the green birds. Get them out.
Free the Appalachians.
Oh, yeah, that too, I guess. Whatever.
I'm going to mention this here right now. I had to train and drill it into my head that they are Appalachians, because for far too long, when I was first had it, my brain just autofilled and was like, yes, the Appalachians.
That's right.
I'm like,
you gotta get those Appalachian mountains in there.
Yeah, I mean, they gave us the hills, right?
Right.
Just gotta stretch them out in a big straight line. All right, guys.
Yeah.
So, what's in this box? We know the general idea of what this is. It's a campaign box. So, what exactly is in here? In this box, we have the Scouring Sands campaign book, which has spiral binding. And Metal Ed, you had a comment on that spiral binding, right? Was that a part of the original plan?
That actually, I think, came up because of playtesting. When we were playing these missions over and over again at the store, we'd print them off, right, and staple them together. And I'd be standing there next to Josh, and we'd flip back and forth, and we're like, this sucks. I don't like flipping. Josh goes, And yeah, he managed to get it spiral bound so that you can actually lay it flat and have the whole mission flat on the table, and you don't have to crush the spine of the book or anything like that, right? It's not like where you have to damage the spine of the book to lay it flat, so it just easily lays flat the whole time.
Yeah, and it's also taking up less real estate, that you're just looking at one page instead of functionally two. I found it was a lot easier to pass it around that way. So you got the campaign book, you got the rule book. Now the rule book isn't spiral bound, which I think is totally fine. It is nice that they kept the rule book and the campaign book separate. But besides the two books, you have your miniatures, your tokens, your AO cards, the automated opposition card deck, as well as an assortment of Alpha Strike cards, edgeability cards, and whatnot. We'll go more into those in a moment. But this is already sounding like a lot of stuff, right, guys?
Box was very heavy.
It is so heavy.
Yeah, I just got mine. Was it last week that I got it? I think so. So I finally got my box. Yeah, I picked it up. I was like, holy crap. This is heavy. And then I opened it up and I was like, there's just so much stuff in here.
Yeah, because I haven't even mentioned the terrain. or the turn tracker. There's just, this box is so full of stuff. I feel Derek went and put it up on his site, right? I can't remember what MSRP is, but he did have it on a slight discount, so I ended up picking it up for that. And honestly, I felt like I was ripping off Catalyst, not gonna lie. Like, this being like $100 product, I think it's absolutely worth it with everything that's in there. And I don't think it's any more expensive than, say, the Alpha Strike box itself, right? I think the retail is $80 US.
I think it might be slightly more than the Alpha Strike box, but it's that he crammed this thing to the hilt. Like, you could not physically fit more stuff in here. If you look at it when you open it, like, good luck getting it all back in, by the way. But I love the philosophy he had with it, because the idea was, if you have the Alpha Strike box and this box, and he said, these are the pieces I'm going to build this campaign with, which is why you need those two boxes, right? Because the terrain out of both boxes, plus all the stuff out of the Aces box, and then the quick start rules in the Alpha Strike box. It's kind of like these two things combined, they are your campaign.
Yeah, you're totally right. I don't know why I blanked on the buildings, but yeah, the buildings are used in the campaign.
I haven't even finished reading the rule book and and all that stuff. I did watch the GMG video.
Read the rule book. You have to read the fucking rule book with this one. Like, nobody does ever read rule book, but you have to with this one. Sorry, go ahead.
No, you're good. But yeah, like, I still need to finish reading the rule book. I did watch the GMG video. That did help. But yeah, it's one of those, you guys just got to get on the table and get after it.
For sure.
Yeah, getting to know the cards helps.
Did you watch the part 1? Just that one?
For Simulation Zero, yeah, that's the only one I watched so far.
Oh, okay. Honestly, I will say, props to Guerrilla Miniature Games. Like, he just recently put out part 4, and he's gotten a lot better. Like, part 4 is actually, I think, like, a really good, like, battle report kind of video. I did just look it up. So, the MSRP, Scouring Sands and Alpha Strike are $7.99. However, Derek has them both on sale for just $59.99. $60 US for both of these products. That's crazy. Like, I can't comprehend how that works. How the maths.
I'm just happy to have them.
Yeah, same. Included in the box. What do you guys think of, like, the OP4 units? Because as Metal Ed just pointed out, like, in this box, it's everything you need for the campaign. You got your OP4 in there. What do you guys think of it?
I was surprised that there weren't too many, like, partial wing units. It being a Jade Falcon force, that's just what I expect. But maybe that's just because every time I go to, like, a tournament or anything, the Jade Falcon player has partial wing units, but they may not be that prevalent in like space there. So
that's because all those went to Terra.
That's right.
Yeah, I guess so.
These are the Jade Falcons left behind.
They left the Bane. I guess it makes sense.
They have a baboon for some reason.
I kind of like it because it is kind of it. To me, it's somewhat of a motley force, and so it plays into that where they're at in the whole era and everything. So I kind of do like it, and I actually really do like the inclusion of the Bane because it is just kind of an oddity with all the LRMs and stuff, and just kind of a fun unit to have on the board.
Nice.
Yeah, I think as people start to play the campaign, they will look upon those fulcrums with a little bit of hate and spite every time they come onto the table, because those little buggers are fast.
They are so fast. They don't have, like, too much bite, but, like, as soon as they're in your back guard,
either.
Yeah, they also don't die. My first struggle was, like, the very first campaign mission. It's like, oh, hey, yeah, Falcon recon units come in. They got 2 light mechs and 2 hovercraft. And it's like the complete inverse of what I'm used to with, like, MechWarrior 5 mercenaries, where it's like, oh, the hovercraft, zap, they're dead. they're gone. I'll deal with them first because the mechs are a little bit more squirrely. No, in this case, I was able to down both the mechs, but those fulcrums, one of them got away completely clean. I was like, this is BS.
Yeah, we've had 2 scenarios with the fulcrums in them, and we have yet to put a point of damage on them yet. Both times they got off board.
Oh my goodness. I do want to make special mention though of the Bane that's included in the box. Like this is we've had a plastic Bane in the past, but it was like the Bane Prime with all the autocannons. This one is the missile boat, the Bane 3. It was the first time I had the misfortune of actually having to fight this thing on the tabletop, and every time it was a pain in the butt.
Yeah, I think this one was Josh's baby because he was playing a lot of Alpha Strike, and I think he stumbled across this mech one day and went, oh. And after that, he's like, this must be in the box.
I imagine some people might be actually picking up multiple copies of the box just to have those Banes.
The 888 is pretty nasty. Yeah, across the board in Alpha Strike. It's a lot of
that, though. Not only that, but I have 7. Even if you try to hide from it, one of his buddies just has to peek the corner at you, and then you're still in hurt. Matt, you left a note here. Do you want to throw that out there about the roles of units?
Yeah, I just, one of the things that I noticed is that the roles, and that this is important in the context of Aces because each unit that is automated has a deck of movement and firing that goes along with it, and it depends the deck depends on the role that unit is selected for. So those roles are not always what you'll get off the master unit list like the Alpha Strike cards come with. So that was one thing that I've had to kind of go back and forth with. And I'm not sure if this was just a balancing thing with each of the scenarios because it has. We haven't run into anything that's like astronomically OP with these roles, but it is something you got to watch out for. It's not just whatever's on the Alpha Strike card, but it's just make sure you pick the right deck or write it down somewhere or something. Yeah, that was just one thing that I noticed that wasn't exactly what I thought it would be, but when I just do it correctly, it plays fine.
Just to check, Matt, when you're pulling out the opposing force on the top right of the campaign missions, you're taking the roll deck for the unit, right? So if it says
correct, yep.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's not the roll that will be like printed out on the Alpha Strike card from the master unit list. It's the one in the book, and so that's totally fine. It's just at first I was like, well, why is it different? Is there something? Is this a misprint? But it seems like it isn't a misprint, correct?
No, that's the intent because this is the variant that works great for this role to do this mission this way.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Is it's for that particular mission. It's taking that role. Yeah, that makes sense.
I always justified it in like my mind because I did notice that mismatch going on, but I always thought like, oh, there's like a different pilot in here, and this is just their like personality. Just like if you're playing the video games, like some players prefer to sit back and fight a certain way, others want to charge in. I'm just looking at 2 scenarios in here. Like you have a summoner one time taking the skirmisher deck. The very next mission, it might be taking the brawler deck just because it's filling in a different role.
I think you could call that like behavioral tuning, right? Because, for example, in the first mission, you want the op 4 to kind of skirt around you and try and act like they're looking at you, and so they've been given like scout and striker and skirmisher decks. There's no brawler in there because you don't want it to walk up and stand in front of you and try and beat your face in.
Yeah.
They wanted to tune it so that they would kind of behave the way they want for this actual mission.
And I really like the interaction with the overall commander cards, especially when the mission tells start on B or start on E or whatever it is, because that kind of gives a general cohesive behavior. But then within that, you have those individual behaviors like you're talking about, Ed.
Yeah, you're talking about the command deck.
Correct.
I think. Yeah, the command deck was definitely needed, and that was something that was added after the alpha that was shared with the mercenary Kickstarter backers, right?
Yeah, that was added partway through. So I think while Josh was tuning the sets of decks, right? Eventually he got the decks into a point where like, okay, these are good to go. But he was finding that the missions kind of played how to describe it, like you wanted the decks to work together a bit better. So they weren't kind of acting incoherently. So those commander decks came about because he figured out a way to like share a command between all of the decks, and that's those colors.
Yeah, I really like it. It to me, it just, I'm whenever I'm playing something like this, I'm just trying to get like in the mindset if this was happening kind of in the real world. So they obviously have a commander that's trying to give them orders instead of just saying, "Well, we're here, guys. Do whatever you want." Right?
Yeah, I always thought it was pretty cool when like you've inflicted enough damage and then the commander flips to E and he's like, "Oh crap, let's get out of here, boys." And then all of a sudden they're like, "Scatter."
Yeah.
Yeah, it's always satisfying when you get the commander to flip to E and then it's like you get to make that choice. It's like, "Oh, do we press to just get another lick in or do we hide away?" One time we almost got the Jade Falcons before they got out, but that Marauder 2C was able to sprint off the map with one structure remaining. We were all like, "Oh no," almost had him. That was out of all the games I played. That's the only time where we kind of like tabled them, almost tabled them, and where the campaign, I think most times like you're not left to table the enemy, like that they will retreat or the mission will end before all pieces are removed.
I think these scenarios are definitely balanced pretty well, so that they're not absolutely going crazy on you, but also they are offering quite a challenge sometimes. And I think I'm just trying to think. Well, my son was really excited about Aces, and he was really excited to create his own kind of campaign, his own scenarios and everything. But it just made me think about maybe it did take a lot to go into the scenarios that they're quite finely tuned. So I'm not sure how well making your own individual Aces scenarios would work. I'm excited. I'm definitely excited to see the next iteration of Aces when it comes out to see how different those are. But yeah, it just seems well tuned, and that's good.
Yeah, I think honestly at this point we could probably start diving more into like the campaign itself. Scouring Sands. That's the name on the box. So with Scouring Sands, the structure, I think the structure of the campaign is best described almost like a pseudo choose your own adventure, where even at the jump, after you go through, there's one simulated mission where it walks you through how the cards work and whatnot. Like this is step by step. It's even giving you the rolls. Like, this unit does that much damage, you go through that. After that, there's like a sim pod. This is the first mission that you can like properly play in there. This was the first mission. I ran this about like 3 times. I ran it about 3 times because twice around Thanksgiving time, I played it with family members. It was a lot of fun. Some of them I was introducing for the first time, tabletop BattleTech. And it was good fun. I also did notice, like with that, it's like you used the Aces box units. It gave you a mercenary force versus some Jade Falcons, and all those were taken from the Alpha Strike box.
Highly recommend that simulator pod mission. Just to run it for the first couple of times, if nothing else, to get a handle on running the AO, running the automated opponent, right? Because it takes a couple of games before you get really fast at it, and after you've played a couple of games, like it, honestly, half the time it makes decisions faster than I do when I'm playing a game when I hum and haw. But yeah, it can. Until you figure those out, it could be a bit too much going on if you're trying to manage like a campaign game at the same time.
Yeah, I know not only myself, but other folks have expressed like the thing that takes the longest or sorry, the first hurdle is like just memorizing what the symbols mean. But like as soon as you got that down pat, because you're gonna see these symbols again and again and again. You know, what does the attack range or line of sight symbols look like? What do they mean? Once you get that down packed, like the Aces cards, you can almost like determine what units are gonna do just by glancing at their cards.
Yeah, I would agree. That's what took us a little while, was just that iconography and the symbology of things. That was definitely the first one. I think the second one that took us a minute, and I think it's still, after you learn the symbology, takes a little bit, is kind of that decision matrix where, if this is there, then this does that, and things like that. So I think that can take some time, but like you're saying, Zemer, the more that you do it, the faster you become at it. So, and I think one of the good things is that they mention up front that when you're doing this, there's kind of a couple golden rules, and the number one golden rule is whatever's best for that, essentially an AI unit, do it, instead of like making it weird and putting it out in the middle of nowhere with no cover. Like, unless that unit would do that for some reason, then you put them in a good position, which is excellent, because without that, the cards could be misconstrued a little bit without that kind of in the background. So I think that's a really good rule to have up front.
Yeah, absolutely. So with all these linked missions that are in the book, there are total over 20 sorties in this book. And I think that's crazy. I think in any given playthrough, you're probably only going to be playing like 7 of these, right? Am I right on that?
Somewhere around there. I think it's 8 or 9. I'm not sure. It's about that, but somebody did the numbers, and I think there's like over 100 paths. It's kind of crazy. So
Yeah.
like you can play this over and over and be picking different choices each time, and depending on how you do in the mission, you may get different keywords anyway. So you could probably play the game multiple times, failing different missions and getting different keywords, and never having the same campaign twice.
We're definitely going to talk about the keywords later, but I'll just say, like, at the start, like right after you get out of the sim pod, after you put together your merc company, you're presented a choice. Hey, you're going down on planet. You have one of 3 options. Do you set up a home base? Do you stick it to the Falcons right away, or do you try to talk to the locals, get friendly with them, and gather intel? Right at the jump, it gives you 3 unique choices, and each mission's going to play in a different way and offer a different challenge. And I think that's great. And as you mentioned, you're going to earn keywords throughout the campaign, and that's going to dictate how future missions are approached, like what options are available to you. Just an example off the top of my head. When I first started my campaign, I got the keyword early recon. It was when I played maybe like the 5th mission of the campaign, like my 5th in Secession. So like a few missions later, there was an option in the reconnaissance area. If you have the keyword early recon, go read this waypoint. And when you read the waypoint, it's like, okay, because you got, some map data, you have the option, you can deploy in another 2 board edges instead of just the 1. And it's like, okay, that's pretty cool. That can absolutely change the mission. And in my case, it absolutely did. We chose that option. And instead of going through the front door of a base, we were able to have a flanking lance go in and stir them up. It allowed us to like eliminate one of their mechs like almost right at the jump. So it really does change the campaign with those keywords and the choices you make. But
I think I was about to say that's one of the things I really like is sometimes when you have linked campaigns, you don't get a choice of what's next, what the next track or however you want to call it, scenario is, right? If you win this first one, you go to A, and if you lose it, you go to B. Whereas in this campaign, it really is, there's some story to it and some narrative to it. So like in some of the kind of the post of one mission, it will give you 2 to 3 options, or even just one. So like sometimes there is only one next mission, but sometimes you get to choose, like, do you want to be on the native side, or do you not want to worry about them and just go and do your thing, right? Go and do what your employers have asked you to do. So there's this, you can pick and choose what kind of mercenary company you want to be, instead of just playing scenarios that have no connection to any feeling or story. So I really like it, as we've played through a number of the scenarios, and it's been interesting. I just let my sons make the choices of what mission we're going to do next, and they're definitely playing to a particular type of mercenary unit. So I really like it, and it adds more depth to it than just playing BattleTech, which is awesome.
Yeah, and I think it's interesting that with my playthrough, there's entire characters that are kind of missing from my narrative because I didn't choose to go down a certain path. Because of the path I chose, it's like, after I finish my campaign, I could play again and I can meet brand new faces and personalities. You know, there's not like, this isn't like a massive book, but like the stuff that's actually able to be crammed in there is impressive. You know, the amount of flavor and lore that is crammed in just this little book here.
I believe one of those choices, you end up not being able to encounter a certain character again because you killed him. But of course, you know what this means for when you're trying to playtest something like this, right?
More headaches?
What it means is you need to put together a team. So, yeah, when this was under development, like with the 20 missions in there, we were testing all kinds of different paths. Like, okay, this player, I want you to play the campaign and go through this mission, then this, then this, then this, and see what, do that path. Other player do this path. Hey Ben, we need more testing on missions 15 and 17. Can you do that? Kind of thing. So there was a lot of coordination on making sure all of these things actually, all the dots connected. Ben, what were your feelings on that?
No, I thought it went well. Having we set up the Discord and everything like that for just the playtest group to go through all that, and it really kind of streamlined a lot of the playtesting. I'm sure from the bottom looking up at you and Lynn and going through all that, it kind of gave more direction, which was needed than in past playtest groups I've been in. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it was a coordinated effort.
Shotgun it, and you don't know who's doing what or where's the focus at, and now this kind of gave, hey, we need testing on mission 15, for example. Hey, make sure you try and take this card, see what happens. Or try and push this way and see what happens. So it kind of helped out to kind of really fine tune things.
Yeah, I guess we should step back for a minute and explain. So, so I live in Southern Ontario, and I happen to live just an hour away from London, which is where Josh Dirksen is. He was the developer of the Aces cards, the up 4 cards, and then a lot of the campaign elements. So I happen to play games at the local store where he is. So I got involved in playtesting early, but just by nature of being with him, and we pulled Ben and a large group of playtesters together. One group was assembled for each Aces box set. So I don't know how he did it, but Ben's right. The coordination of that many playtesters doing that many different combinations and paths was madness. But it worked. It clearly worked because Matt said he enjoyed it, so I was glad to hear that.
Yeah, and Josh is a member of Lynn Vander Studios, correct? They're based in Canada?
Yeah, that's right. I think most of them live around Guelph. I think Aces was produced by Lynn Vander Studios for CGL.
By Lynn Vander for CGL. Gotcha. So, from what I'm gathering from here, though, the very next mission I'm playing is Sortie 15. So, if I get absolutely wiped out, I can
Ben's
yell at
fault.
Ben, right? It's
That's
Ben's fault?
That's correct.
Okay.
Yep.
Thank you. I just need to know where to put the blame instead of my own
You blame
lousy
me for that one.
tactics.
I was like, "Yep, sounds good. Let's do it. Do it live."
So to start the campaign, you gotta choose your force, right? You get your mercenary company together. They give you big allowance. It's 400 PV. Other very popular play formats include like Wolfnet 350, which it's in the name. It's 350 PV. This is kind of crazy. Like, guys, I'm not expecting to play with 400 PV on the board at a time, right? Please,
No.
I got time.
No, that would be the entire force you're landing on Appalachia. You're only going to send a certain force for each particular mission. The rest are busy, I suppose. But no, you'll find most of the missions are. I think you typically run somewhere between 100 and 250 PV. I think maybe for a big one you might run 300 PV, but it is it's very much a case where you have a budget to bring a wide selection of units to the planet, and then you can kind of pick what you need for the mission. So if anybody out there is building their first campaign force, heavily recommend having a group of dedicated super fast units, having a group of dedicated brawlers who are very tough, even if preferably if they could jump even just 8 inches, it will very much help. And then you need fire support. So you really need a balanced campaign force.
Yeah, we decided to just make our own force, and picking out of the 400. My boys are going through and watching The Office for the first time right now, and so they named most of their pilots after Office characters. So like we've got a Fafnir who's called Big Tuna. And we've got a bunch of other ones. What did we name? Oh, I think the Cyclops is called Phyllis. There are some connections to Office characters, so it's pretty fun. But it's been another way to connect them to the units, other than just I'm playing a Fafnir. That's cool, I guess. So I think if you're making one, if you haven't started your campaign yet, when you make one, not only there's this thing about named pilots, but you should name every pilot. Just some pilots are special.
Some pilots are more special than others.
Yeah.
Okay. What's the line from Helldivers that I'm blanking on right now? Some citizens are more equal than others. Anyway, this isn't a Helldivers podcast. I apologize.
I don't even recall at the moment.
So I gotta ask. We're all mentioning mechs. Like, are we only allowed mechs? Can I take a car? Can I take a tank?
Yeah. Well, I mean, for your campaign force, right? The book suggests you use the master unit lists, mercenaries, MUL, I think. So you can get a lot of stuff in there. But I think what's cool is you find in the box. Obviously, there's these Fulcrum hover tanks, right? But those aren't covered in that Alpha Strike box set. So you'll actually find in the rule book there's bits and pieces of the rules from Commander's Edition you need for these, so it kind of has everything you need. But there's a really handy reference card in the box, a hard card reference card, which is one of my favorite things because it's got kind of all those Aces pieces you need.
And it includes a new crit table for vehicles as well. The old one, I guess, was kind of lacking in some aspects, so I don't know if this is going to be the standard going forward, maybe in like Commander's Edition, but it is a different crit chart for rolling for criticals.
So it is a different crit chart, yes. You'll notice that I'm not going to do it again. You'll notice the number 6 and then the number 7 and 8 are different on that crit chart. They're not blank for vehicles. I think
you could say 6 through 8.
Thank you. Yeah. So 6 and 8 are weapon hits, and the 7's an MP hit. This is different. It's because of those fulcrums. You will find that 7 is absolutely essential because those things don't stop unless you can motive crit them.
Yeah.
Yeah, but beyond that, all I can say is there is a public playtest for Alpha Strike planned in the future. So things are underway.
All right. I look forward to it because I have been enjoying the new crit chart. Even as somebody from my mercenary company, we did bring 4 vehicles and some conventional infantry. And in the past, it always felt kind of weird where you just had that 3-point range where there's just no critical. And on mechs, it's only 2 points on that chart. Now, I don't know if it's like there's percentages there and my brain is too smooth for calculating all that. But
the vehicles, you get the motive crit every hit, right? Which doesn't happen with
the motive check, yes.
Yeah. That's the big difference there.
Yeah, for sure. I was chuckling when, my Von Luckner was finally taken out during one of the missions. Like, it just collected every crit in the book it could, gobble up before it went down. It was incredible to see. He did so much work at being the company's bullet sponge for that mission.
Yeah, I love to see it. All my campaign lists were heavily vehicle heavy, so I always bring a J. Edgar and Balak Strike VTOL with Assassin. That's
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
nasty.
Yeah, if you put Assassin on it, it's I think 6 damage when it attacks somebody in the rear. And
yeah, and those are the newly introduced edge abilities, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, I love the inclusion of those. When I first saw them, I was like, "Oh, edge abilities." I checked them out. They work a bit different than SPAs, but they do share some of the naming conventions. Which, did you have a note on that? Like, did these start as SPAs, or is that not the case?
Yeah, no, these actually. I can't remember where exactly they started, but they weren't always the same as the SPAs. They were named differently in the beginning. And it was like through the process of development where I think kind of the stars aligned and the powers that be said, yes, you could use the SPAs. And so the SPAs got turned into edge abilities. So you'll see Jumping Jack in there finally, and it's finally not broken anymore because there's a currency to it, right? There's a limited use for how many edge tokens your pilot has.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's something you establish when you make your force. You have your name pilots. These are like the main characters. You're going to be able to advance their skill. So everybody in your company starts at skill 4. But only your named super special pilots are going to be able to get that skilled lower. Granted, that's a huge cost in support points, and we might get to that later. But right off the jump, you can at start. I forget how much XP you're allowed to allot to your dudes, but it's fairly easy to give them two edge points and an edge ability. Like right off the jump, you can afford that. So right at the beginning, you get to play around with the edge abilities, and some of them are pretty neat. The one I've been running a lot in my games is Protector, which I don't know if there's necessarily a 1-to-1 in SPAs for that, but I love the ability in as long as the unit with the Protector ability is within 2 inches of an ally, he could spend an edge token to reduce the damage dealt to his ally by 1. It was so satisfying to do that the one time with my Stalker was supporting my Warhammer, and the Warhammer had AMS. The Bane had a fire control system, so its missiles are going wild, right? He rolls his attack. He dumps a ton of damage onto the Warhammer, and we're all freaking out because in one shot he's gone down to structure. But then we slow down for a second. It's wait a second, but it's -1 damage for the AMS. And then wait, the Stalker's right there. The Stalker got to spend the edge, and boom, now you went from, oh, your unit just lost half of its health to, all of a sudden, oh, that was just the armor. He's still in the fight. Some of those moments come in pretty clutch with these edge abilities.
Yeah, I love that. It really makes the named pilots feel like they're like the stars of the show, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. We always found it was like awesome to play this where you have 4 players against the Op 4, and each player is, themselves on the table with their own edge ability.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Yeah, like I said, my favorite is Assassin on that Balak. But that Protector is absolutely crucial for the convoy escort missions. Like, nobody loves a convoy escort. And it kind of sucks when you can't do anything about it. Well, now you can.
Now you can. You could be like, okay, I'm just going to burn it. Yeah. This currency, and you're just going to deal 1 less damage.
Yeah, we use that all the time. I had a grasshopper that had Protector, and so, we're like, we got to protect these trucks, guys. So, grasshopper, thank God you're here. Hey, everybody, the grasshopper's here. We're okay. Words nobody has ever said before.
Hey, they've got armor.
The grasshopper's pretty good, okay? Hold up.
He had Protector, so he was like shielding the trucks.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Yeah, we've used, it has come in handy several times, and I really do like what you said, Ed, where it's limited the number of uses that you can use it, because otherwise, I think that's one of the reasons SPAs kind of get a bad rap and are a little bit OP, is because it's unlimited uses, whereas this is when you need it, that specific circumstance, you become slightly better, but not like super overpowered. So I really like them.
Like all the time. If I can go off on a tangent, I've never really been a fan of Jumping Jack in Total Warfare, because if a player has it, then they will just jump every turn, and they won't learn how to play BattleTech. But putting that currency on there, limits how often you could do that.
Yeah, it's definitely. I have, when I've seen SPAs used, that is one that definitely gets abused, I'll say. So it's great to see it present, but not overused, for sure.
I also like the new restriction that you have to be within short range of your target to gain the benefit. So you don't have just some dude using jumping movement at medium range getting the benefit, while the other dude's still getting modifiers nines or up to hit.
Like a sniper on a pogo stick.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, I forget the one that we've used a lot. I forget what it's called, but basically we put it on the Fafnir, big tuna, and it's the one where if you stand still, then you can spend your edge and re-roll your dice, right? Re-roll your attacks.
Patience.
Yeah, that's been really valuable, because there have been some atrocious dice rolls, but it totally fits with a Fafnir with heavy gauzes, right? It needs to stand still to do better. So I really like the combo that we put in those. So and the ability of you to choose which ones you get instead of it being random is really good too, because then you can kind of outfit it with the appropriate unit.
Yeah, we stumbled into a combo in our campaign. So the Protector pilot, they ended up taking Patience as well. And because we're the only assault mech we have in the entire company is the Stalker, and the Stalker really does benefit from finding its home and just sitting there. And then once one of our dudes, we think he's about to be targeted or needs Big Brother to help out, they slip right in with the Stalker, for a turn as they're trying to reposition and whatnot. It's a fun combo to have.
Do you want to mention the waypoints and how those interact with things, Zemer?
Oh yeah, so the waypoints, I'll say right off the bat, it's one of my favorite features of the Aces campaign, because with each mission, when you open up to it, it's just 2 pages. The first page of the mission is going to have a narrative text blurb from somebody's perspective within the fiction. Sometimes it's going to be your enemies preparing for the attack, or a very memorable one that I loved reading through was a spokesperson for the Appalachians, as he's having this inner monologue sitting in the hovercraft before meeting the Jade Falcon commander. you have that, and that takes about half a page. The rest of the page is all your setup. And in the setup, it's going to mention waypoints. Please don't be like me. Pay attention to what the waypoint setup is, because in one mission I forgot a waypoint and I ended up paying dearly for that, almost losing a few units because it was, I think it was Sortie 5, where the Jade Falcons are having a temper tantrum and they're going to attack the city. Well, you're supposed to, on the turn tracker, you're supposed to put one of the waypoints.
Oh, yeah.
And every turn, you're supposed to trigger that waypoint. And the waypoint is telling you, okay, if the Falcons have taken this much damage, do this. And of course, I was ignoring that. So for 2 whole turns, the Jade Falcons are just charging in, tearing up my dudes, completely ignoring the city they're supposed to be attacking, right? And then I finally looked and I noticed, oh, I forgot a waypoint. Flipped it over. Oh, last turn, these guys should have been in full retreat. Oops.
Yeah.
So, yes?
Sorry. Did I interrupt you? Go ahead.
No. Go ahead, Ed.
Yeah, it's definitely like another way the automated opponents get controlled, and it's weird how they act like humans sometimes, because I'm pretty sure last time I played 350 against Ben, he totally forgot the objectives and just started attacking me, and I think the game ended with Ben going, "Oh, shit."
Did I do that?
Oh yeah, yes you did. You forgot.
I probably didn't forget the objective. I probably just like, I don't care anymore. I'm just gonna make you hurt.
I think that is the exact spirit of Mongol Doctrine, isn't it?
It may be.
Are you a Jade Falcon sympathizer?
Depends on the day of the week.
Oh man.
But I really like the waypoint. You have to flip back and look because it doesn't tell you right out front what that actually means. So we ran one a couple days ago where it was kind of like this random event type waypoint where there was like stuff spewing off of these cliffs and things exploding, and I really like the randomness. In a lot of things that I have developed. We'll have like a random event deck of cards, and it reminds me a lot of that, where some of them are just random things that happen to the closest unit or whatnot, and it's really fun. It adds even more flavor to these scenarios.
Yeah, I think the waypoint system as it is right now is really fun, but Ed, I think there might have been a point where it wasn't so fun, right?
Yeah, a few of those needed a couple of fixes. I think it was Sortie 01, where as you start scanning the units, you'll notice oftentimes the enemy units will start taking damage, right? Like, oh, you discovered this unit is not in as good repair as you thought it was. I specifically remembered that the first iteration of that scenario, all of the waypoints were bad to you. So as you started to scan them, it was like, this guy got a motive crit. This guy lost an arm. This guy was immobilized. And I looked over at Josh and I said, I'm not scanning any more of these things. These things suck.
They're cheating.
Like, oh, yeah, okay. All right. We'll look at these. He's like, yeah, you're right. These are all bad. Fix.
Oh, man. So, I do know, and like, there's a lot of fun things that are done with them. I know there's like a waypoint somewhere in the campaign where it says like, oh, this wasn't the thing you were looking for, but you stumbled across some supplies. You can grab it and take it home with you, and it gives you like free support points. Like, again, I think the waypoint system is just really fun because you don't know what's going to happen. Like in Mission 5, I can run Mission 5 again and reveal new waypoints that I didn't see before. Obviously they're just there on the page, but if you have the self-restraint to just not read through all of them, like, you absolutely could run some of these missions a few times and, be rewarded with some new effect.
Yeah, it definitely increases the replayability without repetition, which I really like.
So with the missions, we've put our forces together. We set up our waypoints. We hit the ground running. We take it to the AO. We blow them to pieces. Then there's the payment, right? How are we getting paid? We're falling back onto the system that Mercenaries and Hinterlands has pioneered with taking Chaos Campaign, and your reward support points. Support points are used to repair your forces, rearm, as well as buying new units, and you can even invest some of your support points, some of the extra, back into your pilots. I always call it XP. It's still support points, but you invest those points into your pilots and they could get better. Some pilots, you might be able to drop their skill down to skill 3, which just makes your shots all that more accurate. Some of the pilots in my game have multiple edge abilities now, which is great. We have a light mech pilot in my group that has both forward observer and assassin. So they get to go in for the back shots, and then they get to tell their friends for free by spending an edge token, hey guys, shoot here, with the missiles.
So you'll notice a lot of the systems are very similar, if not the same, between Aces and Hotspot's Hinterlands. So I think the rearming costs are identical, the repair costs are identical. The two systems were kind of like chugging along at the same time. They have kind of like the same DNA, but I like the log sheet for Aces is a little bit different, just to support Alpha Strike the way it does. That is actually very clever. If you go through a post-mission sortie log, it's idiot-proof. And the way I know this is idiot-proof is because Josh would stand behind me and watch me try and fill out the log sheet, and I'd be like, what this? I know no number. And he's like, oh, God. So that's why it holds your hand the whole way through. Because he changed it until the lowest common denominator myself could.
Man, I love those log sheets because, it really is idiot proof because it just, ammo. Ammo is really easy. It just asks, how many units do you have on the board? Subtract the ones that have the special ability ENE.
Yep.
You have 10 units on the board. Okay. It's 10 times the rearming fee, which is 20 support points. It's 200 points. Boom. Right there and then. Then you just keep going down the line. How much, counting the size, adding up the size of all the units, who was destroyed, multiply by X amount. Structure, pay by the next amount. This seems like a lot of cost that goes to this. I'm just going to look real quick because I have it written down for my last mission. I had to spend over 1,500 support points went to my repairs for one mission. Yeah, it was a bad time, okay?
I was about to say, I haven't spent close to that.
I will say that does include the 400 XP that got given to my pilots. So,
okay, yeah,
not that bad. But how lucrative are the payments for the missions? Like, are you paid handsomely? Are you able to keep up with this? All the losses?
In ours, we have been, to date, we haven't lost a unit, and we've gotten pretty much all the objectives. But there is the possibility of increasing the difficulty as well, where that does affect the economy, if I remember correctly. I really, I'll support. Yeah, the sortie logs are awesome. It makes it super simple to do after the match. But some, it has been so easy for us to get support points that we're not on the razor's edge or whatever, but it's been really simple to use, and it's just, it still just goes with the it's just fun to do, right? It's not like super tense because we're not like down to our last unit, half dead type of thing. But because of the ease of using the economy, it's made it still enjoyable. So I like it, and I just wonder how others have experienced it, because we felt like it's been pretty lucrative for us to get all the objectives and things like that. But maybe that's just because we're doing on normal level or something. I don't know.
I've also been playing on standard, and low-key, I kind of wish I had... my thinking was when I first started the campaign, I was like the only experienced one with Alpha Strike. I was introducing to new people, so I was like, we'll just go down standard difficulty, right? But I really do think most people should like consider trying to maybe go for veteran, maybe even elite. Because I know with my mercenary company, even with that big bill that I just mentioned, right? That same the very next mission, right? The payout for the mission was 2,700 SP. So in some missions, we've been making like 1,000 support points in profit, even after pilot XP. Like my mercenary company has been able to buy a Vixen and repair not only a tank, but a Locust from destroyed. So I think probably most of the folks who are going to be listening to this podcast, I definitely recommend start at the veteran, if not elite.
Yeah, there's kind of a philosophy there too. Like, how tough do you want this to be? Like, because some people they don't want like a hyper competitive game. They don't want to be on the edge of their seat after work at night, right? If you want to play a more casual game, play it on standard, right? And if you're not paying attention and one of your mechs goes boom, playing on standard's gonna help you out. But I think you're right for like most BattleTech nerds like us that listen to BattleTech podcasts. You should probably start at veteran.
Yeah.
I think maybe you just start with the first mission on standard, and if you feel that was too easy, maybe you move up, change it after that. But I think we'll definitely play another run through after this current one. We'll definitely up the intensity a little bit. But I think just because I know I've done other events where that's the case, where you want it to be like right on the edge, where it's super in a way stressful. But I like the ability for this same system to just change very few things in the difficulty, and it should make it much more difficult to kind of have a walkthrough, right? So I like it still.
Yeah, and the campaign, this is where a lot of playtesting was also put in, right? Figuring out what the difficulty level for this campaign should be, right?
Yeah, it's really tricky because in a campaign like this, if you think about it, there's actually an economy going on, right? There's a campaign economy, so there's you have to overall measure what is the pay ratio for each mission versus difficulty. So you'll probably find some of the missions in the book with higher pay amounts are probably more deadly. Like it's expecting you to lose more units, but this was tested to an absurd degree. Because I think pretty much every playtester was asked to send in like all of your final log sheets. Like we want the final log sheets for to measure like what your war chest balance is at and what it's going like, so that they could check, players going down this path, this mission, these are overcosted, these are undercosted, and weighted out. So I think that went on for few months of people playing the campaigns and submitting like their balances, and then we did a couple final run throughs. So Josh kind of gathered up all of his regulars, and I think we played through the campaign twice, and we played all the missions down 2 different sets of paths and kept a close eye on our balances all the way through. We got to the end of the mission, and we were looking at the sheets, and I think we were something like we had 800 support points left in the bucket and hadn't lost anything. Or always managed to repair everything the whole way through. And then
wow,
You're like, yeah, that's about right. That's pretty balanced. And I poked Josh and I said, Josh, look around the table. Who's standing here? How experienced are they? And he's like, well, we got Kirby here. Kirby the Fowl, you might know him. He plays locally with us. Hi, Michael. Let's see, Kirby, he goes to tournaments. Okay. That guy, Ed, there, he's helping. His name's in the rule book. Okay. That guy there, he plays at tournaments. And I'm like, yeah, that's right. So we've got all like pretty much expert players. And then I'm like, Josh, what kind of army are we using? And looked at and all of the units in our force were pretty much hand plucked from the cream of the crop of like 350 lists we had seen over the years. So, you name it for a busted unit, we had it. And gotcha. I'm like, okay, hyper elite units, expert players, and we're 800 SP over. We're pretty much at 0. So that's what elite is. So that is, we played it twice. That is the elite category right there. So then veteran and standard were adapted by increasing and fluctuating down from there.
Nice. That I'm glad somebody had that had that thought come to mind, like who is playtesting this and who the product is for, because I can imagine people who are first getting into Alpha Strike, again, they might be getting the Alpha Strike box and then immediately picking up Scouring Sands. And in that case, it's like, yeah, you probably would recommend standard, but you have to have that baseline, because I feel like if the baseline's like too hard, you know, even if it was set to veteran, somebody might look at this and get frustrated. Oh, this isn't too fun. Like I can't afford to run my merch company. Some people are into that, but others, they do just want like a more chill experience.
Yeah, exactly. And the thing is, you kind of have to balance the campaign based on the economic factors, because like the sorties, the missions, they're set, right? So there's a known structured force with known structured skills and decks, right? So that's fixed. So what you change is like how much you can bring to fight it and how much you get paid for doing it.
Yeah. So, actually that kind of makes another good point. Like if you ran 1 or 2 mission campaigns through, like maybe try a harder difficulty. Now all of a sudden, even if you take the same merc company, you're not going to be able to take the same comp, assuming you used all your points last time around. You're going to have to slim it down just a little bit. You might have to give up, that one unit. You might find out then, like, oh, that LRM carrier was doing a lot of heavy lifting for me. Oops.
Yeah, I really like it as, there's all these like little pieces, and I wasn't part of the playtest group, but I'm sure, all these little pieces were tested either, all together or separately or whatnot, but they all work so well together, and it's really awesome. That's what I really like about it, is it just works well as a system, and the fact that there's some randomness built into it means that you won't have the same, easy walkthrough on one mission. It won't be the same way across all missions, even if you stay at the same difficulty, just because there are some random things, and there's random dice rolls and all that. So I like the randomness with kind of some built-in things to keep it enjoyable and somewhat flexible. So to me, it just all works together in such a great system.
Couldn't agree more. All right, unless we have any other comments, I think that's all for the main medal tonight. Thank you all for coming in and talking about, BattleTech Aces, Scouring Sands. I'm so glad we're here. Man, for like literal months, we were talking about this product, and it's so satisfying to finally get it in our hands.
Thanks for testing, Ed and Ben, because it's awesome. It's really well done.
It wasn't just us. I think there were at least 20 in Scouring Sands. There were a lot of folks. Yeah. Yeah. Ben, did you have any thoughts on the campaign there? Finally,
I think because I started with the Kickstarter release, and I was using the original set to kind of test my 350 list before I was going to tournaments and stuff, and I was like, there's definitely some room for improvements here. And then, when you invited me into the play test, which I appreciate, it was really cool to kind of see the growth of where it came from and how the AI worked and everything like that. But the campaign itself, I thought was really well done. With the way and the amount of people that were playtesting this thing to make sure it was a very tight product that everyone will really like. So I think it worked out really well.
Yeah. Ben, while we still have you talking, I'm feeling a bit thirsty. How about you?
Sure, man. I think it's about time for that drink of the month.
Hey all, this is Ben here, your BattleTech Master of Spirits. Get your mixers, liquors, shakers, stirrers, and strainers ready as we cover this month's BattleTech Drink of the Month.
All right, folks. This month's Drink of the Month is brought to you by Liquids. I'm going to turn it over to Zemer tonight, and he's got a special Drink of the Month for you. So take it away, Zemer.
Well, thank you very much. I'm not much of a drinker these days, but I thought in the spirit of Scouring Sands and this wonderful dust ball we've been stuck on, Appalachia, I would recommend everybody of age and who wants to, go ahead and try for yourself a Mezcal Paloma. Am I saying that right? Holy fuck.
Just do the fucking Manhattan, Jesus.
Yeah, I should have fucking done the Manhattan. That's real easy. You just got the bitters and right bitters.
You're making it too complicated, man.
I'm making it way too complicated. Yeah, whatever. Fucking yeah, just do the Manhattan. Vermouth. You instead of the bourbon, you just fucking throw some tequila in there or mezcal, whatever the fuck mezcal is. It's fine. It's a serviceable drink. A regular Manhattan with bourbon works, so. I'm sure it's going to work with tequila. Anyway, I'm going to the back of the kitchen.
I'm not testing that one.
So I don't know what any of those names are.
Mm-hmm. I don't know about that.
I'd say woo, but not woo. I don't know.
That's going to be a woo with a question mark at the end.
Question mark. Yeah, there you go. Try and report, I guess.
That's your drink of the month.
Who wants fucking tacos?
Oh, I think you boys might want to reshoot that commercial. I don't know how many it's going to sell.
Oh, man.
That was definitely questionable.
Brought to you by Brondo.
I think there were about 32 swear words in 14 seconds there.
Oh, man.
Hey, we put
every episode gets the explicit tag for a reason.
Is that self-imposed, or is that Spotify trying to censor us?
Oh, I click that button manually every month.
Okay.
Better safe than sorry.
Fair enough. All right, so we have some upcoming action that we would love to report on. Matt, you got the first one for us?
Yeah, so coming up in February. I will just announce here. So I have been putting together some kind of a calendar of major BattleTech events or cons that have BattleTech events at them. Kind of a calendar of all those for North America. And I will be putting that out on the Discord here probably within the next week as I get everything that I think is valuable for everyone. So if you're looking at your calendar and you're thinking, where should I go play BattleTech this year? Maybe that'll give you a little bit more information. So be on the lookout for that. Okay, coming up in February, from February 13th through the 16th in Los Angeles. It's basically right at LAX. There's the Hilton there. And this is called Strategicon. There's like 3 different Strategicons throughout the year, and it's always associated with a Monday off for a holiday. So this one, as I said, February 13th through 16th. I know there's actually quite a bit of Aces going on. A good friend of the podcast, Phil. He's running some stuff up there with Aces. There's also a scenario being played a couple times about defending the base against a kaiju, so that's kind of be fun. We love adding extra stuff into BattleTech nowadays. Phil is also running an Irby Derby arcade ops. I know those are always crazy. And then he's also running a conscripted chaos tournament. So if you're in the area or you're going on a business trip there and, for Valentine's Day, I guess. Go hang out at the Los Angeles Hilton next to LAX and play some BattleTech. Oh, looks like I'm next again. Here we go. Brawl in the Bluegrass. This one's happening March 6th through the 8th. This is happening in Lexington, Kentucky. The guy running it is Jeff or Tweezer from the Coolant Pod / MRC fame. And we're actually taking a trip. I'll be out there for this one, Brawl in the Bluegrass. I think I'm the only one from the podcast that'll be out there, but we're taking a trip to Iron Winds on Friday to pick up stuff and then playing some fun games on Friday night. There will be a classic tournament on Saturday throughout the day and then an Alpha Strike tournament on Sunday. So should be another good time. This will be my first time out to Brawl in the Bluegrass, but knowing a couple of the guys out there already, it sounds like it'll be a great time. It's already sold out, so you can't come. I'm just kidding. There might be occasional tickets as people have to drop out or whatnot. But be on the lookout for it.
All right, and then we have Adepticon. That's going to be March 25th through the 29th. There will be Alpha Strike 350 doubles and singles. I think they're seating 20 teams for doubles and 52 players for singles. What is BTCCAS?
BattleTech Championship Circuit.
Thank you. They will have BattleTech Championship Circuit for Alpha Strike. They will have a Leviathan's narrative game. So if you love airships, give that a consideration. There will also be Alpha Strike and BattleTech Time of War narrative campaign games.
If you like with Milwaukee and you want to play some BattleTech, that's your opportunity right there.
Hell yeah. And Desert Hot Drop, that's coming again this year.
Yep. So that's me again. So yes, Desert Hot Drop. We are not exactly secure on the date. The location will be Las Vegas again, but not secure. We don't have the location as in the meeting space or whatnot set in stone, although that should be happening within the next week. Likely dates are in September or October, most likely in October, because that's kind of the space in between other events. And then Desert Hot Drop will probably switch to being a spring event after this year. But that is still up in the air somewhat, but it will be a lot of fun. We'll have a lot of returning events. We'll have, on the Alpha Strike side, we'll have 350 events. We will have an Alpha Strike narrative event this year. And we'll have Conscripted Chaos again and a couple other things, probably another big battle. On the classic side, we will have BattleTech Through the Ages. We'll have Campaign in a Day. We will also have Jesty from the MRC and from the Coolant Pod running Hinterlands in Classic, as well as some other Classic things. So it'll be another great time. Hope people can make it out. There'll be a lot more information coming out because we've got some time before then, but just watch the Discord and stuff. And then Ed's got some from the northern regions that he'd like to talk about.
That's right. We got a little Canadian invasion of the podcast here. So I will be running events at Hot Lead March 20th to 22nd in Stratford, Ontario. So I'm running games starting 7 p.m. Friday, and I think we finish 2 p.m. Sunday. So it's a lot of BattleTech going on. Stratford's, I think, 3 hours from Detroit, 3 hours from Buffalo. So it's kind of in the middle there in Ontario. So may Zemer think about it, eh? And next one is June 27th, 28th in Hamilton, Ontario. We're going to be putting on SOBSCon again. So SOBSCon stands for Southern Ontario BattleTech Society Convention. So that's a CDT organized. There's, I think, 13 CDT agents that help me run it, or that I run it with, rather. I'm not the guy. But it is, I think, our biggest BattleTech convention in Canada. We had 150 people last year, and we're going 2 days this year. So we're hoping for more this year. So come to Hamilton.
You were saying you were only hoping for like 50 people to show up, right? During that event.
Yeah, last year we weren't sure who we were going to get. We're thirsty for conventions up here. So eventually we just said, you know what, we're going to do our own, and it's going to have blackjacks and riflemen. And
Pause there.
Truly optimized, right?
I like my tube arms.
Excellent fire support.
Yeah, we it's actually run at an amazing game store that has like literally convention sized space, and they said, you know what, if you can get 50 people, you can run this here. We're like, cool. We're like, yeah, we hope we can get 50, but 150 BattleTech players, because it's all BattleTech. 150 came out of the woodwork from Southern Ontario. So yeah,
incredible.
Yeah, it was awesome.
All right, well, thank you for laying out those events for the near future, guys. So we're gonna end on the shout outs. Bourbon, you got any shout outs for us?
I'll give a shout out to Inconceivable Games in Castle Rock, Colorado, for just always being available for us weirdos that pop in there on Saturdays and Sundays to roll some dice. And special shout out to Charles Gideon for getting together and indulging my desire to play test some classic stuff. So thanks, buddy. That's all I got.
Matt?
Yeah, I'd just like to give a shout out to, in general, the MRC and the guys that run the MRC. There's quite a few of them, and it takes a lot to get all these Mega Mech matches lined up and all this organization. I really truly appreciate what they've done over there to kind of connect people that even when you're on your own home and can't get out much, you can still connect and play BattleTech. Really like that. Specifically, my 4 opponents for the War Without Endgames. It's been great. It was great to play them, and they're all people that I haven't played before. So that was at least in Mega Mech, and so it was great to hear, or great to meet them, if not in person, at least online. So go play BattleTech, everyone. That's what I got.
All right, and Mike?
All right, my shout outs is going to be everyone who donated to Extra Life 2025. All of you guys are awesome. I never imagined because the first year we did like 375, and then I think the second year did we hit 1,000 the second year? I can't remember.
You hit 1,000 last year. Sorry, 2024. You hit 1,000.
Gotcha.
And then some.
Yeah. I've got it on a different page on here somewhere. Either way, 385 the first year. Yep, 1,000 on year 2. And then last year was year 3 at 1,700 total. So that's just super freaking awesome. Everyone that donated y'all just rock stars. But we keep moving forward because we still got kids to help out. So new year, new Extra Life campaign. Mine's already started. If you're able to, every couple bucks helps. It doesn't have to be anything massive. And then if you want to join the Shield Wall initiative and raise money for your local children's hospital, by all means, hit me up and we'll get you on the team. But that's what I got. Oh, I'll try and start doing the first half of the year is pretty busy, but since I've got Extra Life going already, I'm going to try and do at least one dedicated-ish charity stream per month. Not to the game day level, 16-hour stretch, but just, 3-4 hour, 5 hour, at least one dedicated charity stream a month. That's the goal.
Great to hear. I'm going to quickly shout out. So, in the Valhalla Club, one of the regular members there, Queef Master, just this past weekend, we got him not only to this was his first game of tabletop BattleTech ever. We got him into Tabletop Simulator and gave him his first game with BattleTech Aces. I just want to shout him out because I'm so glad he gave it a try. He's been playing MechWarrior Online for ages, but never got into the tabletop. So playing with me that day was also Moondog and Legion, Queefmaster was like a rock star. He took a Warhammer, had the marksman special ability, and he absolutely bullied a Bane 3 into submission. It was fantastic. And Ed, how about you?
Yeah, I got a couple. I'd like to send a shout out to Joshua Franklin and Keith Hahn. They're the rules developers for Alpha Strike and Total Warfare, respectively. Just want to call them out and say thank you, because those guys work so hard. I know all us BattleTech nerds love our games, love our rules, but those guys, nobody, I don't know who knows this, but they are working around the clock to make sure that our math rocks make the thing blow up. Also want to thank Luke Potma. He's my local long-suffering playtester. He comes to the store even though I show up with random stuff and he never knows what he's going to get. I also want to say, I want you to please send hugs to Andrew Krull. He could really use him right now. He needs your love. Please reach out to Andrew. Tell him you're thinking of him. And finally, I'm going to say thank you to Josh Dirksen for the awesome Aces box set. The whole Aces playtesting team, which is like huge. And my mercenaries playtesters, the Hinterlanders. Thank you, guys.
All of us here do send our thoughts to Andrew Krull.
And on to the patrons.
And to finish it all off, thanks to all of our patrons. Your support means the world. If you'd like to contribute to the show, Patreon link is in the show description on whatever streaming service you're listening from. But I got it linked in there. We appreciate anything and everything. Yeah, and then I don't think we've had any new in a while. But yeah, thanks to all of our patrons.
Yeah, if there's something you guys want to see, let us know. Discord us up. You have your own channel, so use it.
That is true. The patrons have a secret channel in the server. So to see that, you gotta be a patron.
Keep it
and
secret.
It has been seeing some use. So just hop on in and share your thoughts.
Make demands.
If they demand that I, stop doing food sections for drink of the month, please do. I need to be stopped. I need to be reined in.
Rein Zemer in. Don't let him do it.
Don't let me do it. Shove me back in the damn closet. All right. Well, thank you all for listening. Thank you, gentlemen, for joining me today for this talk on BattleTech Aces. But it's time for the last call.
Last call.
Last call.
Last call.
Thanks for joining us today in the Valhalla Club. If you'd like to hang out with us and many other BattleTech podcasters, then be sure to join our Discord. Link is in the description. Special thanks to our sponsor, Ares Games and Miniatures. Ares is the premier online retailer for all your BattleTech needs. If you would like to support the show, you can find us at patreon.com/The Valhalla Club. If you have any comments, please feel free to send an email to thevalhallaclub@outlook.com. Until next time, mech fans.
I don't know why, but I almost wolfed. That would have been horrible.
Wrong show.
Yeah. You're on the wrong podcast, bro.
Just felt like a pregnant pause, and I was going to do it, and then I was like, "What am I
Woof.
doing?"